Allison's reappointment for the zoning board. Alright, so I'll make a motion, we appoint Allison Valiers to the zoning board of adjustment, term ending March 2019.
Second.
We have a second, any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Put that back together. This is the fun part. Alright, we have Nancy Lang here for the Milfoil Research Committee. So I'll make a motion, we appoint Nancy Lang to the Milfoil Research Committee, term ending March 2019.
I'll second.
We have a second, no discussion?
Negative.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Bless you.
Something. Alright. Alright, we've got two for the Energy Committee. So I'll make a motion that we appoint George Holt and Robert Ray to the Energy Committee, both terms ending March 2019.
Second.
Got a second, any discussion?
Negative.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
There's one for you. For you, for you. And another paper clip for you.
Thanks.
And if Ted wants to be reappointed, did you find out if Ted wants to be reappointed on historical awareness at all?
Where's his term up?
Cause you have Gail and Donna.
I got from, this is what I got from Donna.
Okay,
Um,
Yeah, can I shed some light? I did speak to Donna this week.
yeah,
She wasn't asking him to be reappointed because he never went to a meeting.
okay,
That was the reason.
fair enough.
Thanks, Lee. Thought I missed something.
I'll make a motion to appoint Donna Dunn and Gail Martell to the Historical Awareness Committee, terms ending March 2019.
Second.
Have a second, any discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's the way it can start. That's right.
Yeah. Go. Alright, I think that's the end of them for everybody except for,
Did you do that
Us.
down for us?
no, they didn't have them here, I think that was a typo, correct?
It actually was too many interruptions.
That happens. Alrighty. Okay, we have, part of the appointment is selectmen's reps. You get, obviously the chair, selectmen's here, and we've got that's all set. So we got energy committee, highway committee, capital improvements, town forest, conservation, what a certificate. Planning board and technology committee, we got joint loss management as well, right? We have one that usually goes with joint loss.
Oh, yep, you're right, I missed that one. Oh, it's not in the book.
Historic, you got the historical awareness. So, I think that's it for, that I can see. So gentlemen, how do you wanna do these things up, relatively speaking, fairly?
I'll take the Kinkenna it,
I'll do the historical awareness.
Okay,
and for now you can put me down for the technology committee.
I'll stay with the planning board, because I've been there and, it takes a while to get up to speed on that stuff, so it'd only be fair.
The highway safety committee,
I was on that one, but if you want, you can have it.
well, it's up to you.
Joint loss, I was thinking, and I'm just thinking outside the box here and just thinking out loud. Cause that one meets with all the employees and department heads that meet, usually like 9 o'clock
Yeah, they
during
meet
a
during the
weekday.
day.
Oh, okay.
Cause they just
I
had
can
a
do that
meeting.
one then.
Yeah,
I'll do
Yeah.
that one, cause it's convenient to me.
that's one reason, but also I know you've had some background with safety and stuff as well. I think, maybe some fresh blood on that. I mean, I used to do
Alright.
safety as a, so for me it'd be kind of, I've served on joint losses,
Mhm.
and I'd have to take time off from work,
Right. No, I don't have a problem with it.
okay. Capital improvements, I'll stick with CIP if everybody doesn't have a problem with that.
It's funny, cause I show up to that for
That's fine.
Yeah.
cemetery anyway.
I kinda like that one.
Yep.
Which I wanna actually get a meeting together, get going, cause I wanna start the vehicle acquisition plan while we have a little bit of time,
Yep, yeah, no, it's not wait till October.
actually, so. Energy committee and highway safety, any thoughts, gentlemen, any wants, needs? I mean, if you want highway safety, you're welcome to it, I'm not saying, you can't have it, I just.
The highway safety, they don't meet on a regular basis.
No,
It's
it's
as
been,
needed, right?
kinda
Emergency basis, I
as
think.
needed.
Yeah, I would think that maybe,
Same maybe.
quarterly might not even be a bad idea for that one.
Yeah, cause there's plenty of stuff around town that they can,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I don't care, either way.
Thoughts, anybody want it, not want it?
Yeah, I'll take that one.
You're gonna do highway safety?
Yes.
How about energy committee, anybody else want energy?
I have none left. No energy.
Is that,
Well,
they meet on what, the third Monday?
third Monday.
I'll do that,
Thank you, Bob,
I'll do that.
appreciate that.
I just missed the last meeting.
That's okay.
Just kidding.
I think it's,
You'll learn all about solar.
well, not that, I think being chair of this board here, it kinda makes up for,
Yeah.
so that sounds reasonable. Did you get all those, Linda, or you need to?
I did get them all, I'll go down and make up the papers. We've never done appointment papers from capital improvement, so I won't do one for that.
That's fine.
The Katafka one, that's signed by,
Yep.
somebody else. Joint loss is kind of laid out by the state, so we've never done an
Yep.
appointment paper for that.
Exactly.
And I will do the others, get them back for your signature.
Appreciate it.
Can you just run down your list again and make sure I
I
have
will.
the numbers right?
Linda,
I can go
you
by
want these?
one track.
Can these go to Linda now? You don't need them, right?
Nope.
Okay. There you go.
Alright, so we got, the list I have here, we got Board of Selectmen chair, myself, the vice chair or co-chair being Tom. Selectmen's up to the energy committee will be Bob. Selectmen's up to the highway safety committee will be Tom. Selectmen's up to the capital improvements plan will be myself. Katifka will be Tom. Selectmen's up to the planning board will be myself again. And rep to technology committee will be Tom, hopefully we'll find a chair for that, so he can just be a rep. Joint loss, Bob is kind enough to take that one, and historical awareness,
Bob is one.
Bob, yeah.
Okay, got them all.
So we got 1, 2, 3 for Bob, 1, 2, 3 for Tom, and 1, 2, 3, if you include this board here, myself. So, 3, 3, and 3, I think that's good.
Yes, sir.
My wife will thank you guys, if I have to be everywhere at once. Alright, I think we're done with this for the moment. Alright. Just comes back with the paperwork, we'll finish that up. Okey dokey. Town business. Okay, we've got, Chief Scoop sent us an email for an update. Did everybody get to read that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, grant, we've already done the grant, he's got, now the trading versus the auction on the vehicle, we have no liability or legalities that we can trade it, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Alright, do we get a better price that way?
I believe that's why they get the prices that they get a quote
Good.
with the swap in there.
Good.
Cause that's on the state contract anyway, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But the dealer can take it. I think. Cause the contract doesn't limit them on that. I know the state vehicles, they have to go to the auction by law, but say the town don't have to. But we can use it if we want to. Alright, we got frequencies for the FCC, but they're working on directional antennas. More money by the looks of it.
Yep.
He's still looking for, we don't have to necessarily accept Shane Durant's resignation, do we?
I
I
would
don't
think-
know if we've done it in the past.
We have not, but typically we get a copy in our hands so we can put it in the file. So I'll ask him for that, cause I haven't seen it yet.
Alright. Well, I mean, that's what I mean, because I know we've got 2 resignations, so I didn't know if you wanted to just take care of them right now. Accept them. Gentlemen, you got any thoughts? Oh, we got Shane Durant has resigned his position as
Yeah.
part-time in Allison, so I don't know if you guys wanna take care of those right now.
Yeah, we can do it.
Sure.
Alrighty, I'll make a motion that we accept Shane Durant's resignation as a part-time police officer after 10 years of service. And with regret, and thank him for his service.
Yeah.
And I also have a letter here from Allison Valiers, resigning immediately as recording secretary of the Board of Selectmen. She enjoyed her many years, but she thought it was time for her to resign, and I'll accept her resignation with regret as well. Is there a second to those?
Second.
Okay, 2 seconds, that's great.
Oh, you got it?
So,
He was quicker than me at the button.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Alright, all those in favor of accepting the 2 resignations?
aye.
Aye.
Great. I don't know if you wanna initial that.
Yep.
That's some other basic stuff as well, so. That's just, yeah, when you're done, go ahead and read it. You don't have to rush on our account. And that just goes right in the mail basket. Cool, alright, so we're done with that. Anything else regarding Mr. Spook's letter? Gentlemen?
Nope.
Alright, we're good. Looks like we got a couple of policies here.
Well. We have there,
Electronics record, and then we
Yep.
get, I get 2 policies, yes.
Yeah, one is
There.
the,
one's the cleanup version.
well, no, you've got,
I didn't want you to not see
Oh,
the
yeah.
strikeout
yeah,
in case you wanted me to put back in, but I wanted you to see a more complete copy.
yeah, the first one is the one that I had, gotten off the web there for the town of New Durham. And then I went through it the other night and looked at things that I thought might not apply to us. After I struck them out, and I think Lean took the time to go through and produce it without those items in there. So you can see what I was suggesting we remove or we can leave,
Right.
you know, depends what you guys think.
You had an oops on your font down
I
here.
see that just now, that
Last bullet,
last bullet.
in the last paragraph.
You know, I don't know if you reformatted this, but I scanned this using OCR
Yeah,
software.
And it was yeah,
Yeah.
I had to,
So you probably had to mess with it.
I did.
Cause it was not a editable document.
yeah, that's what those little
Yeah.
squigglies were.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my first attempt at it.
That was,
Pretty
well,
good,
if you
yeah.
did that, then that's all
Yeah,
right,
it worked
because
pretty good.
it's easier for me to make changes if it's in a
Yeah,
Word, so.
Yeah, I bought a new printer and it had the ability
I
to
got a
do that.
question for you. I assume it means, video recording, but on the number 3 it says, any public meeting that is being electronically recorded should post the name and date of the meeting in the visible area. But if you're,
Audio, yeah,
Audio.
you're right.
should it have something to say,
Well, technically, my understanding
Video
of an
recording?
audio is as soon as the meeting minutes are accepted, you can delete it.
Right, no, this is just, it says any public meeting that is being electronically recorded, to me, that means
Right.
audio or video or both.
Yep.
Okay,
Should post a name and date, how, we can't post a name and date in a visible area
Visible area.
on a, audio recording.
okay,
So I don't know if we wanna take and clarify that, is make sure it's a video, or, being electronic, video, any public meeting is being, electronically recorded, or maybe in parentheses, put video, or change it around somehow.
Yeah, maybe just put the word video.
And then my second question that I had for that was, is that being recorded by the town or by anybody of the public?
Well, down below here, it states about, shall be sponsored. Somewhere here.
Shall be responsible for it. Doesn't actually record for the purpose. Let's make a finding for decision minutes. For the selectmen, business meetings, planning, it's only we do all business meetings, budget committee. We don't have a budget committee, we can strike that one.
yep. And that last Miss Font one, recording may be performed by any other individuals if staff and broadcast entity is not available. We don't currently have that, so
Right.
we don't, it's not a town,
Not a function.
record.
Mm.
It's being done by volunteers.
I mean, there should be like a disclaimer on this, I was supposed to say, and this is for town recording purposes, cause I don't know if we can have a town policy that's.
You can't use this policy to restrict public.
Correct, that's what I'm
Right.
saying.
Correct,
Yeah.
Because the public can record us regardless, however they want.
Right.
okay,
Right, but this was to grant access to the, a link on the webpage. That's where we're driving to.
Right,
Yeah,
no.
but it doesn't achieve that.
right,
I'm reading this, it doesn't achieve that.
yep,
And the other thing, it says the town's website on YouTube. The town doesn't have a website on YouTube,
no.
if you're going in that direction.
okay.
Okay.
So it should be referenced as a link on the town's website.
From the link is what you're saying?
Yeah, from a link. Or is it a volunteer committee
Well,
link?
I think
or-
unfortunately, you're gonna have to go through this whole thing.
Yeah, the whole
From
document, I
beginning
think, yeah.
And,
to the end
Yep, yep,
to clean this up, cause,
Yeah, cause this was taken from a town that, well, even in this town, it's a volunteer group that, does the,
Right.
recording, but they happen to have a broadcast, Comcast or whatever it is, in their town that provides that closed circuit TV.
right,
So I mean, that's what this was
Thank you.
designed around, so,
there's quite a few communities that have that option, and unfortunately, this is drafted for their,
Right.
for their
yeah, and I
policy.
couldn't find one, Bob, that, couldn't, in fact, this was the only one I could find, to work from, as a working document, and I wrote emails to a couple towns asking if they had policies that they would share, and, I got a response, but the towns that responded didn't have a policy.
Because actually, if you draft something that controls the public, then you have to go to every entity that you already have on your website, whether it's congregational church or whatever, and have them sign off on the same policy that governs everybody.
mm,
So what we're looking for is just a policy around providing a link, and that link could be,
Mhm.
to your point, Bob, for anybody.
I think part of that, policy for a link like that should also be security of some sort for our part. I mean, because we don't want someone to be able to backfeed through a link from, say, the church or wherever, for, use them as an example, and kind of hack into us. I mean, we have a
Yeah,
firewall and
yeah.
all that stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
don't wanna have any avenues open to the hackers. So, I mean, I think it'd be incumbent on those folks that are gonna, wanna link on our website to at least have some skin in the game, and provide some security. 'Cause that would be catastrophic if we get a hacker just
can that
messing around.
happen though? I mean, we've had,
I'd have to ask Jim, I mean,
I don't know.
he's our resident expert.
Yeah, no expert in
or Dan Troy for that matter
internet
too.
security.
I'm meeting with him tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if we can get assurances that, you know, it can happen, or it's so remotely, ridiculously gonna happen, then, you know, that's one thing, but
yeah,
if
maybe
it's,
it makes it easier.
but I don't know. Cause I know like with the state, I mean, they've got more damn firewalls than you can shake a stick at, and policies on what you can and can't go to and see, and, it's funny, the state has its own, like, the DOT has its own Facebook page and Twitter account and all stuff, but I can't access it from my computer.
Really?
Even though the DOT has it, and it's for the public, but it's on the DOT server, I can't access it from a DOT computer.
They have their own forensic unit that
Mhm.
just looks into whether or not they're being hacked by anybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's web services.
So what's the suggestion here going forward with this? That we just don't do this, that we do something else?
Well, I mean, I think it's a good start.
Yeah, I think, you know, you're looking at something that's, it's situated according to what our schedule is. We need to look for something that is more conducive with the private sector, you know, with the public sector being out there taping us, and there might be something out there, there's gotta be a community out there that has people that
Mhm.
can, you know, come in and they videotape or whatever, there's gotta be something out there.
Yeah, the ones that I found, I mean, you can do, if you go on to, I went in through, YouTube and just did selectmen's
Yeah.
meetings, and a whole bunch come up, but
Mhm.
they're, the majority, if not all of them, are being done by a private group.
Right.
And I couldn't find that anybody other than New Durham had a link on their website to it. So I don't know, I think the issue here is that we're trying to provide that link. And, the other towns, the Carroll County, if you go on there and do what I'm suggesting, you'll be shocked. Carroll County has has an organization that is covering just about every town up there.
Hmm.
And it's all being done by private citizens, they're attending, county level meetings, and they're putting it all up on their webpage, but they also sell advertising on their webpage to help pay for it. So,
Interesting.
so that when you look at the meetings on there, and there's a lot of them, because they're not doing just selectmen, they're doing just about everything. And they have that disclaimer, or not a disclaimer, I'm sorry, but like the logo of the town and what the meeting is and the date and all of that. And it's, you know, and you can watch anyone that you wanna watch, but that organization must be large. I tried to find out more about the organization itself, but, I wasn't able to. But, yeah, if you do that, go check it out.
What if you, and I don't know if it's Troy or whoever you would speak to with the website, what if there's a way, and I'm sure that every other organization that you have listed, you know, for community organizations, must be separate altogether from the town's website, number one. You know, where you're clicking to go to Congregational Church or Historical
Oh,
Society.
yeah,
or
that's a
whatever.
link.
As the link, so if they're separate from us, why don't we just develop a disclaimer that disclaims the, you know, the public
Yep.
filming?
I had a disclaimer that I had,
Dan Ryan, he works for Channel
Channel
9,
9,
he
yeah.
approached me at the end of the town meeting and saying that they do that considerably in all their things, you put a disclaimer, and he said he'd be happy to, you know, provide what they use
Oh,
as an
really?
example.
Cause that might be a good example to look at.
Yeah.
Have them just develop something that we can look at, cause
yeah,
that might be the out that allows everybody
Yep.
to be happy campers, you know?
Because that's,
Absolutely.
under these groups, all of these here are independent, well, just
and that link just takes you to their web.
to their
website.
webpage, yeah.
Right,
And even if you put another tab there and said
yeah, that would be,
volunteer,
wouldn't be any different.
volunteer group video recordings, selectmen's meeting, if
Yeah,
you create another tab right there.
same thing.
Well, they probably wanna put it on the selectmen's side of things too, because if someone goes looking at the selectmen's tab, I mean,
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
you know, we could put it in more than one place.
Yeah.
Well, even if you
Yeah.
had another button at the top that just said,
Yeah.
link to meetings or something like that,
Right.
video link or
Media,
something, I don't know, some other name, but even given its own button, so you don't have to deep dive into the website to get
how
to it.
about if we have room, this could probably get,
Or it could maybe even go down to the bottom, if you scroll up, it could go down in the, you know, down in this area too somewhere.
this gets a little bit longer,
Yeah.
and you lose everything,
Right.
but.
I got a dumb question.
Yeah.
I know that we've had it on there for the website forever and ever regarding the center of New England and all that. Not that it's a bad thing to have, but do we have anything we can take and kinda like update the website with? I mean, it just seems,
Change it?
yeah.
Well, for someone who's never visited the website, and that is still very interesting
It is,
information.
yeah.
Oh, absolutely, but I
And
mean,
the problem with that is, you need a full-time technology person to do this.
I understand that. I'm just throwing out there, I didn't know if we had any, it just, because I mean, I've
I
been
mean,
on the website
I
several
made
times
a
now.
point of adding the 250th,
Yep,
and it was the countdown clock,
right,
so.
that was
And
nice,
then
that was good to
it
have.
shifted this down a little bit,
Mhm.
but, I mean, I like the fact that maybe this is where we need to change. Some of the
Maybe.
pictures, we've got a
Yeah.
lot of pictures in the background,
Now, other
Yeah,
towns have this
absolutely.
similar setup, I noticed, where they have the scrolling of the photos and what have you at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not too uncommon, actually, you see that on a lot of web pages, that kind of thing. But we're kinda off subject now.
Yeah, but to
We're gonna
get back to
we're gonna
that
go past
subject,
curfew.
what I'm finding in talking to people is, there's a lot of people out there, and I don't care who you could think of.
Yep.
You know, there's some people that would never, ever come to a selectmen's meeting, that
Right.
take the time now,
Mhm.
and it's getting more hits, that you see where somebody went in and just looked at, number two, file
Mhm.
number two versus number one, or whatever,
Well,
you know?
Well, how about this, if, I'm just gonna throw this out here, cause we
Mhm.
already have all these other, web links to,
Yeah.
things. If the group that wants to videotape called themselves something, became a group, for
Mhm.
example, then you provide, you know, a link to that organization, when they have the video there. As opposed to us providing a link that takes you, you know what I mean, just like the other sites do.
like
Kind of
this
thing,
group
like-
here.
Yeah, like you have the, I think the garden club has a website that links to,
Yeah,
Well, I got,
it's
well,
right
kind
there.
of
I
thing.
guess,
So,
can
I'm
I-
just saying, if that
Mhm.
group had a name like that, an organization, then you could set them up as a
Mhm.
community group, cause that falls under, right, community,
Mhm.
and then provide a link to it, right from there.
I mean, I can honestly say I haven't really gone out and looked at the videotape in the selectmen's meetings because I attend there,
Who's
so.
living it.
Yeah, right.
It's not like I need to go revisit it.
No. But there's a lot of people out there
Oh,
that do
no,
enjoy it, so.
I do, I understand that, and I don't have a problem with that, I mean, you know, the more we can spread the news, like, that's great.
I mean,
don't
I
have a
think that
problem
this
with-
would make the best
Well, I guess
sense.
my, leading to my question though is, what's the intent, a link to like every single videotaping? Or one link that will take you to a website that then you can take and select all your,
That's what
Go-
this is
And
doing,
that's what this will do.
that's what this does.
If Brian
That's
hasn't
exactly
seen it,
what
maybe
I
you
would
should
do.
show it to him, if you go to YouTube, you can go to it,
What is it?
and go to YouTube.
Yeah, it's,
But
And
it's-
then it's.
Dunbarton BOS.
Dunbarton
on
BOS
top.
is what
Okay.
you're.
oh, so there's a website out there, right?
Yeah, there's a
Okay,
website out
Gotcha.
there that would send you right there,
I see,
and then you can go
okay,
look at the selectmen meetings.
gotcha,
Not that you would want to, but
yeah.
if you got 4 hours to kill one night, or whatever.
Yeah, if you're an insomniac, you
I
might
did it
wanna
once,
do
why would I wanna do it twice? Definition of insanity? Repeating the same thing and hoping for a
Is
different.
that it right there? Yeah, so when you go there, Brian, when you go to the,
Oh, look at this, swearing in of Bob last week,
it ends up, you end up with
or
this,
a couple weeks ago.
with this. But you go to YouTube and then you go to Dunbarton BOS and you get this long list on the side, so now you can go scroll through and see what you wanna watch.
Gotcha. Cool.
I mean, you might wanna stay up all night and watch all the reruns.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Yeah. so, so I mean, that's what we're talking about,
Okay,
is doing that.
I mean, that's the simplest way of doing anything, and you can
Yeah.
add a disclaimer if you want, and make yourself feel good, you know, it
yeah,
all
no, I think,
depends, cause, you know what,
I think you're
attorneys will
fair.
challenge anything, so.
But
Absolutely.
because these are grouped together and there's no preference to any of these groups, it's just a tab, I think that this would be the most logical place to put it.
What's that header? I can't read it.
It says groups,
The groups, yeah,
Mhm.
I mean,
Is it civic groups or just groups?
Well, I know when we were looking at the websites, for future, potentially building a new
We
website.
could call it YouTube, I don't know, I don't know
They
if
had
they-
the thing where you put it in one, it could be in multiple locations, but it was one official place where it goes.
right.
Because, depending
Dan
on.
said that this does do that, you can do search here,
Mhm.
and it will take you to that place on the website.
Yeah. I know the town of Ossipee, they had a YouTube link on theirs, but, and they must have had an event up there where there was, I don't know what was going on, but helicopters landing for whatever reason.
I mean, I
And
could,
that's what all there was nothing else, it was just
I could
the
probably add a
helicopter event.
box, there are boxes behind these,
Yeah,
and put a link to minutes or something, or to audio, video minutes. But I started adding, information that's important for me,
yeah.
for the public, cause they call the office, so
Well, it
it's,
should be called
tax rate.
meetings, not minutes,
oh yeah, you're right.
but yeah, I mean, so that's the, that's how it works.
Right, okay. I learned something new.
Technology committee.
Yeah, technology committee. Disclaimer, I think would be a good start.
Yeah,
Didn't Nick Holmes say he would help on
He
the
did.
policy?
Yep.
Although we,
could reach out to him, he gave me his card,
let's,
want me to do that?
make those jackals work for us,
Okay.
i.e. the lawyers.
Yeah, no, he offered to help, so, yeah, alright, I'll reach out.
It's a line from the Terminator.
Is it?
Yes,
Okay, don't know, I'll say okay.
that's an old line, that's an old movie.
Is it?
Old movie reference, nowadays. So, yeah, no, if we can get Nick to give us a hand with a policy, maybe he might have an idea.
Alright,
And we can get Mr. Ryan to give us a copy of that disclaimer.
yeah, do we know how to get a hold of Dan?
Dan Troy?
Ryan.
Dan Ryan.
Oh, I have his email,
Do you?
yeah, because after that article he oopsed on with our town meeting being at the wrong date,
Oh,
Yep.
he made sure he introduced himself, and I have all his contact information.
yeah, the only place I see him is at Malacca Basket.
So, well, this is a great start.
Okay.
It's good discussion, I think.
Alright,
Okay.
so that'll go
I
on,
got a question, I guess
Keep
maybe
it
for
on the
keep it
Leo.
list.
on next
I
week's
got a
list.
question for you, Leo, since you're the one doing the taping.
Yep.
Are you guys thinking of expanding beyond selectmen, like, you got planning boards, zoning boards, you got other?
Yeah, well, that would
You got
be,
school board?
yeah, it would be good, except for I'm the only one doing it.
You're retired, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I didn't retire to do all of this.
I just figured it'd be
Yeah.
fair, that way.
Well, right now,
Everybody gets more
this is
efficient.
just a start, we're just gotta try to get this organized first, Once we get past this, then, you're talking about watching these meetings. When I'm up in Canada, you have like 4 meetings while I'm gone at least, and I watch them up there, So, not the whole thing, but I'll scan through different parts of it and skip parts, and I'll,
Yep.
see what the highlights are, and, if something interests me, then, or sometimes I'll play it as I'm doing some working, and if something catches my attention, I'll stop and listen, but, as far as the other meetings, again, it's not enough time to do all of that, at this point, no. If there's more people interested, by all means, it wouldn't bother us at all, Certain committees, like, the planning board maybe, and the zoning board, and, certain things that are, some of the meetings probably, some of the committees would be pretty boring to tape, because,
Oh, absolutely.
as you just said, they meet quarterly or something like that, nothing goes on. The town force might be interesting once in a while, but, again,
Well, I know, like, planning board, we've got, a couple of subdivisions and stuff.
Yeah,
coming
right,
up.
something like
It's
that would-
finally starting to crack up a little bit, so it might be of interest.
that
to
would be
people.
it, right, exactly, something that people would be interested in, to see what's going on, and it affects the neighborhood, so they might wanna listen in on what's
Have
going
you
on.
seen the
Sure.
2 guys, was it Londonderry, the mosquito control board?
Yes.
You seen that one?
Litchfield.
Litchfield?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's pretty funny, yeah. Those guys are serious.
Oh, yeah. They are.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well,
Okay,
we'll table it and continue on,
yeah,
get
put on
some.
the list for next week. We'll keep beating that up. Okay.
Absolutely. Policy and, what is it called, disclaimer.
Disclaimer, yep, and I'll contact Nick Holmes.
Alright, we got a calendar sitting in front of us here now.
Well, that has to do with some of the items I wanted to bring up. You've gone
Well-
through-
The floor is yours.
Okay, just to bring the board up to speed, we had our first audit of 4 today. The Department of Revenue was in the office for the good portion of the day, reviewing the, land use and exemption for accuracy, our files. The information that was, provided for the audit was, finalized with the support from Joe Marie. And we received 100% accuracy in our files, and I just would like to acknowledge Joe Marie for a good job done.
Gold
Thank you for
star.
this too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we, our second audit, a workers' comp audit, was submitted, and mailed to the Primex yesterday by Allison. And the information that was gathered for this information came with the support, from the support of Allison, and I would like to acknowledge her for a great job done. I have a very,
Yep.
helpful staff in the office currently. We, have been working on the New Hampshire retirement audit. 90% of the information requested was submitted electronically, which, allows them to prepare what they need to, put together. The remainder 10% is in our files, cause they're original documents. And we are scheduled for the finalizing of the audit on Tuesday, April 12th. Both Alice and I will be here to answer any questions they may have, so that's moving forward. I just received the preliminary paperwork for the financial audit for 2015. Melanson and Heath will schedule an on-site appointment once the audit surveys are completed and returned, so you'll be seeing some attachments that will be forwarded to the board.
Yep.
And I have some that I'll have to distribute to some of the departments. Let's see here. I'm gonna continue on the things I have to bring up, if you don't mind.
Go right ahead.
We have the resignation for the recording secretary to the board of selectmen.
We already accepted that.
That leaves, a vacancy for that position. The
Yes.
2016 budget for the recording secretary was approximately $6,000 for meetings and workshops. The current, the position currently pays $17.93 for the employee that just resigned. I'm recommending, if it's, approved by the board, that we advertise either an hourly rate or set price for meetings in the future. I thought that $16.50 was a, reasonable rate. I based that number on, an example of a 3-hour meeting of the board. And then typically, rule of thumb is the transcribing of that meeting would double in hours. So if you had a 3-hour meeting, it would take you about 6 hours. So that's approximately 9 hours. So that at $16.50 would bring us at $148.
Be transcribing or just doing the minutes, cause I mean, I would think the minutes wouldn't take that long.
They do. And typically for meetings, 2 hours, transcribing is gonna take 4 hours. So my recommendation is, I seem to think that the recording works pretty well. So if we avoided that individual sitting in a meeting and transcribe just from the recorder, we could reduce the number of hours that we have to pay for that meeting. So
Yeah.
that being said, assuming a 3-hour meeting, 6 hours to transcribe at $16.50, that's $99. So I'm recommending, advertising, recording at a flat rate for $100 a meeting.
What's the school board pay for Judy, you know?
She is no longer doing it.
Excuse me.
Yeah, they have
Because,
somebody else.
And she was getting paid $75 a meeting.
Yeah.
And that she understands the new person taking on that responsibility is being paid $100 a meeting. I'd like to try to advertise on the website or, I have called a professional company. Judy said that there are a few people that have businesses that, it's called Avacor, which does
Yeah.
transcribing. I'm
I
sure
thought
it's.
someone contacted, was it you that might have talked to somebody?
Me?
Yeah,
Well, transcribing?
Yeah, was it,
No.
I thought. Who did I talk to? Somebody talked about transcribing the minutes.
The first company that I contacted, they only do litigation things, so,
Yep.
and I'm sure they're pretty costly. But I left a message with this company here because it does say that they transcribe, from audio recordings.
So they would take our audio recording and then transcribe.
Well, when you say transcribe, we're talking word for word, or we're just talking about just the, like you did, just the general gist of it?
I'm sure that that's what they do when they transcribe, they don't put in all
Well,
the,
when I hear transcribe, I'm thinking actually like someone that's like sitting there taking it word for word and doing like, for litigation purposes, and, like, almost like a,
I guess I can ask them that question when they do that, because you have to listen to the entire recording
but
in
you
order
don't-
to sum up what is important and what can be left out.
thoughts, I mean,
I'm gonna make a phone call, if you don't mind, tomorrow. I think I know someone who does this kind of work, although I think she does it for medical, and she works from home. So I could call her and find out more about what she does, she might be able to, point me in a direction. But I'll
Okay.
give her a call tomorrow
you're okay with it?
and gather the information anyway. I don't know if she freelances, she may even freelance, so I can ask about that too. But I'll find out, she lives out in, Sunapee area.
The only concern I have,
Mhm.
and maybe we're a different entity when I was covered under that, but, the tape recording,
Mhm.
once it leaves, if it leaves this building,
Oh, no, you can upload this onto,
okay,
Yes.
what
on
is
a
it?
disc.
The music,
You put it on a disc, right?
or
CD,
CD,
okay,
and,
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
you'd do it electronically, you wouldn't do that,
You
you'd
can send a
Oh,
file.
You'd
if
upload
it-
it to
if
the
it-
computer and then
Yeah,
send it, or?
yeah, what is this, what is this called
But
here?
make it an MP3 and send it.
Wow,
Yeah, it's Windows Media Player.
Well, that'd be a
Upload
pretty,
this.
that might be a pretty big file to be sending like over the internet, over an email.
Well, you can zip it.
Yeah, but you know what else you might be able to do, maybe, if we have the technology, is you get saved to our server, maybe somebody logs into the server and records it from there, does the transcribing right off the server.
Well, it probably ought to do it on our, because if, the town business on someone else's computer,
Right, that's what I mean, if they logged on to a,
Oh, VPN, you
Yeah.
did it?
yeah, maybe they can log in somehow remotely and do it, possibly, I
Mhm.
don't know. Just thinking.
But I'm just hoping that the board will support at least putting this out for a vacancy, because
Yeah, why don't
any
we, I think we should do
extra
that.
work on my
But while we're doing,
desk is just a little bit,
but while we're doing that, we can also explore some other avenues too.
Oh,
and see if
absolutely, yeah.
what about like
there's
Joe
a-
Marie,
she's not interested.
not interested?
She's never done it before, and she has no idea, and she's not interested in,
And nobody takes shorthand anymore.
no,
Allison was a rarity when it comes to that.
yeah.
Do you think Judy might be interested in doing
I
it,
asked
where
her.
she's right in town?
I asked her, she said doing them weekly would be too much. Cause right now she works 2 shifts minimum for the tax collector.
Okay.
She works a
yeah.
40-hour plus
Yeah.
job. It's ideal for someone who's, has a part-time job, or, wants to work from home.
Yeah,
Floor's still open for thoughts, I mean, what do you think?
well, you might as well look into it and see what you can make out with, I mean, just taping them in the evening is a, it's a savings.
Yeah, yep. I mean, I had no problems hearing the public comment. There were a few that were faint, but in a quiet environment where the phone's not ringing and I'm not getting interrupted, which I had to finish up with, because you can't do it in a work office environment if you're open to the public. It's gotta be outside.
Well, if we're gonna continue with the recording, I would think we'd might wanna invest in a better recording where we could put like a microphone out
Microphone.
there and a microphone here, so that way you can get everybody, and that sort of thing. You got a question, Ralph?
Yeah, well, I got there's a lady that I do business with, Hay Business down in Goffstown, that does transcriptions. I'm
Yep.
not sure if she does them for attorneys or doctors.
Okay,
I just sent her an email, a text. She's, actually, I'm waiting for a reply, it's doing that little bubbly thing, so,
okay,
um,
cool.
if that's it, that
Oh, yeah.
interests
Yeah.
you. I mean, she's fairly local, she's in Goffstown, but.
Yeah,
No, I don't have a problem advertising or.
Yeah, we should
researching it,
advertise and then
see what-
continue to check out.
What do you think, guys, hourly or flat rate? I'm leaning towards flat rate myself if we can.
Yeah,
That way we know what we've got.
It's probably a lot easier using a flat rate than it
Yeah.
is hourly.
Yeah.
I mean,
because-
yeah,
Some meetings, you know, if they're short and sweet in an hour, they make money. If it's gonna be a 4-hour meeting, they might lose a little bit, but it's gonna balance out, I think,
mm-hmm,
in the long run.
yeah,
You know, we'll get-
Yeah, I'm okay with the flat rate.
So. Go forth.
Yep.
And see what we can, you know,
And we'll
put
see
the
what-
feelers out there.
We'll see what kind of other information we can gather up here in the next week or
do
two.
you want me to post on the hot topics, just see, or at,
Sure.
in time being, and then you can
Yeah.
look into that
Yeah,
individual?
yeah, and then Ralph's got some info that he's gathering.
I'd
so-
rather have,
Let's put a
10 to
couple
15
lines in the
different,
file, yeah,
avenues we might be able to go, and we can sort them out from there.
yeah.
Yeah.
But then, rather than have none. 'Cause, I mean, you guys got enough going on in the office that, adding minutes just gonna
Yeah.
slow you down,
Alright,
so.
okay, and with that being said, I did provide, I was trying to, find ways of saving the town money. And so in that thought process, I figured if we went with, a summer schedule, we could potentially save 1, 2, 3, 4,
Well, we
5.
have in the last 2 years
1,
anyway.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 meetings.
Yeah, but our summer schedule last year, we ended up meeting in between anyway for various reasons.
Yep.
I don't remember exactly everything we got, but it seemed like our schedule, even though there was an off week, we were still here for whatever reason.
Yeah, on occasion, I know what you mean.
But I'm okay with at least trying to do the summer schedule. Don't misunderstand me.
Unless you really wanna meet every week.
No, this is
Well,
fine.
in summer time, usually not too bad. So I take it on the schedule here, which, the yellow and you get crossed out,
Yeah,
which
the,
one's
right
which?
behind it, it's the easiest way for me to explain it so it's clear, that's for your information.
Alright.
It's, but